Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we are going to draw a linear graph. The linear graph. Before we start drawing the linear graph, we need to discuss a Cartesian plane. The features thereof through the Cartesian planes are the following. What is a Cartesian plane? A Cartesian plane is the system we use for plotting coordinates on the grid. What do we call this horizontal line on the Cartesian plane? It is called an x-axis. What do you call the vertical line in the Cartesian plane? It is our y-axis. And how many quadrants do we have in the Cartesian plane? There are 4 quadrants in the Cartesian plane. We count them anti-clockwise direction. The x value in the first quadrant is positive, and the y values on the first quadrant is positive also. In the second quadrant, the x values are negative and the y values are positive. In the third quadrant, the x values, both the x values and the y values are negative. In the fourth quadrant, the x values are positive and the y values are negative. How to draw a linear graph? There are points that we need to understand, we need to know. There are 5 key points when drawing the linear graph. The graph of the straight line can be described using an equation. For the horizontal line, the equation is y equal to c and equal to minus 4. Example. This is an example on the right hand side whereby we're saying the equation is y equal to c. In other words, all the points are on negative 4, both on the right hand side and also on the left hand side, all in the third quadrant and also in the fourth quadrant. Also again, the second point that you need to understand, it is a vertical line. The vertical line is where we're saying x is equal to c, which is equal to 5. In other words, the line drawn, it will be a vertical line from where the point is given as x is equal to 5. And the line is parallel to the y-axis. The third one, it is an oblique line. And the equation is therefore is equal to y is equal to mx plus c, where y stands for the y coordinates, and x for the x coordinates, and m for the gradient, and c for the y-intercept. If you look for an example, in the example, the line graph, this line graph, it is y is equal to x plus 2. And this point on 2 on the vertical line, well, on the y-axis, it's our y-intercept. This point on the horizontal line, on the x-axis, it's our x-intercept. How to draw a linear graph continues. 1.4 points. The fourth point is the coordinates of the point on the oblique line are calculated by substitution, giving the value or the values of into the equation y is equal to mx plus c. The fifth point is c is the number where the line crosses the y-axis, and this is called the y-intercept. 1.6, the m is the number which is measured of the steepness of the line, and this steepness of the line, it is called the gradient. Now, if we draw the graph of y equals mx plus c, there are 3 methods that we use to draw the linear graph. The first one is by creating a table of values. This is where the coordinates of the point on the oblique line are calculated by substitution, giving the value or values of into x into the equation. The second method is dual method, finding the y and the x-intercept. When finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept, you let the value of x be 0 when you want to find the y-intercept. If you want to find the x-intercept, you let y be 0. Substitution on the equation, you find the third line or the fourth point solution to the equation. Thereafter, you plot the 3 or 4 points and then check that they are lined up. And thereafter, you draw the line. The third method is gradient y-intercept. This can be used if the line is written in standard form y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. There are 5 steps that you need to follow. You plot a point at the y-intercept. That's the first step. Step number 2, you write the gradient in the form of m is equal to rise out of run. Starting from the y-intercept, you move up the number of units suggested by the rise, and then you stop on the when you have that graph of